And it's okay to feel angry, but you cannot let your anger control you. Don't bust the windows out his car. Hey Sunshines, if you're new here, I'm Dave. Thank you for clicking on our YouTube channel. I'm so happy to have you here. Today we are talking about coping while healing with a broken heart. Coping is important because you're having all these feelings and you need a healthy way to manage them while you're in the process of healing. A lot of people tend to lean on temporary pain relievers that won't fully heal the pain that they're going through. It'll take the pain away momentarily, but at the end of the day, they're still stuck with it because they're not doing anything to remove the pain from their body. They're attacking the pain without attacking the root cause. And sometimes when you're just attacking the pain and you're using temporary pain relievers, you're going to end up causing yourself more pain in the long run. I was looking at Taina on IG. I think her name is Latina ×3 or something like that. And she just broke up with her boyfriend G Herbo, and the thing that they were saying in the comments, like, girl, it's time to act bad. You should have put something petty in the comments, but that's not really healing. That's not going to make her feel better in the long run. She's going to attract people that are attracted to her brokenness, and most likely if you're attracting people that are attracted to your brokenness, they're going to be broken as well. And you don't want to bring more brokenness into your life. You want to heal. You want to be a woman of value. You want to be a woman of substance. You don't want a man who likes bad women. Just like I didn't like nice guys originally, now I do. And I am a woman of substance. And there's been men that I've been out and about and that are attractive. And they're like, hey, you cute, la, 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 this, that, and the third. But I'm like, oh, I see you have a black mile in your hand. I don't talk to guys that smoke. Like, I have certain standards and I have certain values, and certain people can't even talk to me. And I see if our values and our standards aren't aligned and you're not taking care of your health, why would I want to have a relationship with you? That's unattractive to me. To each his own, but for me, that's a standard that I have. I don't want to be around somebody smoking and getting your secondhand smoke because I don't smoke, so why would I want to be around that anyway? So I digress, you guys. Like, I really desire to see women holding each other more accountable, because men out here, they have a bro code. Like, us, on the other hand, like, we be competing with one another, gossiping about one another, not building one another up. I'm not saying all women is like that, because actually I'm not around any women who are like that. Like, I know a lot of women who are very positive, very encouraging, that will hold you accountable, that will offer you advice, that will point you in the right direction, and that's very loving and affectionate towards each other. Like, those are the type of women that I like to be around. And I know all women aren't bad. A lot of women are afraid to be friends with one another because they have been hurt in the past by someone else who have been broken. So this is why I'm making this video. So let's just make a long story short. Like, I really desire to see women whole. I really desire to see people not hurting anymore. And I really want you to be able to cope with the feelings that you have in a healthy way. First, in order to cope with your feelings, you have to be able to identify what those feelings are. Most of the time, if you're going through heartbreak, you're feeling betrayed, you're feeling rejected, you're feeling lonely, you're feeling depressed. Sometimes you're even feeling physical pain, your heart not beating the same. You have decreased physical movement. If I could really pinpoint the feeling that you're having when you're going through a broken heart, I would say that it's grieving. Because you think about it, like, you lost someone, even though they're not dead. No one enters into a relationship like, oh, I hope this fails. I hope we don't work out. I hope he don't be my partner for life. Unless you're in it for the wrong reason, and maybe you do hope that it's over. You see it's not going the right way, or that you hope and you don't have the courage to end it the right way. Maybe you do hope that it ends in that regard. But most of the time, when people initially enter into the relationship because they have hope that it could go well, that they could be with this person, that it might lead to something more, that they could have that partnership that they truly desire, and that they find true love. And when that doesn't happen, like I said in my first video, hope deferred makes the heart sick. And it's hard to navigate life with a sick heart. Now that you know that you're dealing with grief, there are 5 stages associated with grief. Those stages are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. You're probably in the denial stage if you're thinking like, oh, maybe this relationship can still work, when you know in fact that it really can't. Now, there are some cases that your relationship can work and it's not an overall deal breaker, or maybe you just needed space from each other. But sometimes you know that that relationship needs to end. In that case, if you're not accepting it, you're in denial. Next, we have the anger stage. Anger, that's pretty self-explanatory. You feel angry that you wasted your time. You feel angry that the relationship didn't work. You feel angry at your ex. You feel angry at the Lord. You feel angry at life, and it's really hard to forgive that person. And it's okay to feel angry, but you cannot let your anger control you. Don't bust the windows out his car. You can't do that, sis. Don't do it. Bargaining is where you're trying to like make a deal. It's similar to denial, but bargaining is where you're like actively trying to pursue the relationship again. And I believe as a woman, we shouldn't be trying to pursue a relationship that didn't end well, that man didn't value us. And doing so, that shows him that we do not value ourselves. So I do not feel like as a woman that we should never just try to bargain with the man to show him that we are enough. We have to know within ourselves that we are enough. Maybe that man may come back around, maybe he won't. But at the end of the day, we still have to uphold our value, and we have to know that we are the prize and that we're worth pursuing, and that when a man gets with us, we add favor into his life, not the other way around. So we have to be okay that that relationship isn't going to work. And then there's depression. So depression is a extreme sadness you feel. That's when I was talking about you can't eat, you can't sleep. It's hard to feel motivated. You don't know what's next. You're overwhelmed. You have all these thoughts, all these feelings. You feel really down about yourself, and it's a really dark place to be in. You may even be contemplating suicide or practicing self-harm activities or really trying to numb your pain. But that is so unhealthy, and you deserve so much more. I'm going to put the suicide hotline on the screen if that's the stage that you're going through and you feel so depressed that you don't know how you're going to make it through this heartbreak. Trust me, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You will make it through this. And you don't have to be strong. You don't have to do it on your own. You just have to be real and honest with yourself and really identify how you feel. Reach out to someone and tell somebody what you're going through. Do not go through that alone. Please call that number if you're feeling so depressed that you don't feel like you can move on. The acceptance stage, that you're okay with that relationship being over, that you don't have any ill will towards that person. You're able to move on. You can see how you can live life without them. Now I'm going to share with you guys 5 coping skills that will help you while you're grieving with a broken heart. To be able to cope with something is to deal effectively with something that is extremely difficult. So coping skill number 1, do not date right away. Take time to really assess what you need to learn from that broken relationship. You don't want to repeat the same mistakes, and you don't want to come into your new relationship with baggage. So I say really take time to grieve that relationship, heal as much as possible, and learn all that you can from that broken relationship. Coping skill number 2, self-care. Now everyone is saying self-care these days, but self-care is really important. You have to take care of yourself. If you're not able to love yourself, how are you going to love others like you love yourself? So you need to make sure that you're loving on yourself as well, and then get that same love out to other people. Now some ways I do self-care. I did my hair, y'all. I'm loving my hair, taking care of all my needs, all my child's needs. Now my sis, she's the queen of taking bubble baths for her self-care. And now I too enjoy taking bubble baths for my self-care. It's very relaxing. I like lighting a candle, playing some nice relaxing music, and reading my book in the bathtub. It's very relaxing, putting some bubbles in there. It's amazing. Highly recommend. Shout out to you, sis. You know who you are. You can go and learn a new skill, partake in a new hobby. Another thing that I really enjoy is listening to music. I actually created a breakup playlist for you guys. I really feel like it's good when you can have someone empathize with what you're going through. So I made a playlist of music that reflects that. I was very intentional about not putting any I hate him or I'm going to get revenge on her type of music in the playlist, because I didn't want it to have that kind of energy. I really wanted you guys to be able to have forgiveness in your hearts, because you can't heal if you're not forgiving that person. So I was very intentional about it. It's okay to acknowledge what that person did to you, but it's not okay to hate them and to wish evil on someone. We shouldn't be hating people. It's important to show love and kindness to everyone. So I didn't want to include that. If you have any more suggestions, however, leave it in the comment section down below and let me know what other songs I should add. Or if you feel inspired by my playlist and you don't like any of my music, I suggest that maybe you can go ahead and make your own music that you can listen to and find comfort in. For one of my exes, this is maybe a little petty, but it's not bad. I changed their ringtone to somebody that I used to know by, I don't know what the guy name is, but I don't know. It just, when that person calls, I know it's them, and it kind of helps me to give that disconnection and that separation that I need to know that this is somebody that I'm letting go. This is somebody that I used to know. This is not someone that I'm holding on to. In fact, if any other ex did have my number that was calling me, they will all get that ringtone until I got a new number. And it's more so for me. It's not for them, because it's not like they know that that's their ringtone. But I just find comfort in that. And it's a part of my self-care. And it's not mean or revengeful. It brings me peace. So whatever you gotta do to find your peace, find your coping skill number 3, strengthen your area of weakness. The great thing about the internet, we can learn absolutely anything that we want to learn. Now, I said in my first video that I was suffering with not keeping boundaries, that I didn't understand boundaries. So I did a lot of research to understand boundaries, to make sure that I'm aware of what it is, what I need to do to set them, and how to keep them, and not worry about how other people feel, and to honor myself and to honor my self-worth. Educating yourself in the areas that you're weak in will build your confidence and lower the chance of you making the same mistakes again. That is my favorite coping skill, learning new things and to increase my areas of weakness. And I feel like that's really my superpower. They asked us in church the other day, if you feel like you had a superpower, what is your superpower? I said, I believe that you never stop growing, and I always want to grow and learn new things. And if I had to pick a superhero, I would be Groot, because Groot, he's always growing. I am Groot. Yes, I'm definitely Groot if I had to pick a superhero that I would be. Coping skill number 4, let others support you, whether it be friends, family, and even therapy. I'm in counseling now. It's truly blessing my life. It's helping me to manage my emotions, to change the narrative and perspective that I had around that area of a loss, and being real with myself and accepting it for what it is, helping me with emotional and behavioral pain that I experience, and supporting me readjust and overcome everyday obstacles. I highly recommend therapy. Coping skill number 5 is, drumroll please, coping skill number 5 is simply Jesus. Jesus is the best relationship that you can have. He will never leave you or forsake you. He will be your strength when you're weak. He'll be strong for you. He'll provide for you. He'll protect you. He'll be everything that you need. And you can tell him whatever you want to tell him. He'll listen to you. He won't judge you incorrectly. He's fair. He's just. He's faithful. I'm going to put the link in the card so you guys can check out my salvation video if you don't know Jesus personally. I highly recommend that you get to know the Lord Jesus so that you can live life more abundantly. And those are my coping skills, guys. I only gave 5 because I felt like there was so much that you can really partake in each one of those coping skills, that you can really make it your own and do what you need to do so you can go ahead and live a new life and learn how to live again, and to remember that you weren't born in this world with that person so that you can live life without that person. You don't need that person to survive. You will be okay. You will make it through. There are other people in the world. There is a person out there for you. That person was not your person, and it's okay. And it is hard to move on, but you can move on. And there was things that you enjoyed about the relationship, but it's okay. When you find somebody that you love and they love you back and everything is flowing how it's supposed to be and it's healthy, that relationship is going to be 20 times better than that relationship that your heart is aching over right now. Remember, because you can't change anyone. When a person shows you who they are, believe them. It's not our job to save anyone, but to point them to Jesus. They had to want to change on their own. The Lord gave us all free will. The best thing you can do for someone is pray that God's will be done in their life and truly forgive them. Set yourself free and let that person live their life and you live your life. I hope you find your spark and your joy. so that next person can come along, can find you healthy and whole and striving to be who the Lord created you to be. Rip you out the plastic because Jesus made you new, okay? I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Share any coping skills that you have or any suggestions of content that you want to see from me in the future. Remember, never compare. Be inspired. Let your light shine. Thank you for watching. God bless.